Namaste and welcome, beloveds, to this light circle, this holy gathering of light beings to celebrate light. And Jesus has been reminding me how abjectly powerful this joining is. We're celebrating what's already joined, what's holy and complete, what cannot know separation in any way. And at the tiniest contraction is the idea that separation can occur. He also reminded me yesterday, it was really wonderful because things have been washing through as all of the call of our heart is really to see where the denials are. And I was experiencing pain, and I could see how that's being projected outward. And it was very interesting. Jesus reminded me how powerful just the thought of joining with a brother, just the thought of being joined with a brother, and there was no pain. This is how powerful this is. If we're feeling something's coming up or into consciousness, it's simply the thought that separation can be occurring. And this joining is such a great antidote that he offers. Just one thought of joining with Jesus, joining with a brother, is powerful enough to deny the separation has occurred. So thank you for joining with us today to look at the denials that Course Lesson 109 is true. I rest in God. Jesus, is there any desire below my level of awareness to have an experience in which I deny resting in God, that I rest in God? I'm willing to see it. And just for those who may not have joined before, we just ask this of Jesus and hold these thoughts in our heart and be shown by him. And as we're shown, we just raise our hands. So everyone has had that conversation because we can all talk with Jesus. We all know it's true in our heart. We ask for rest today in quietness unshaken by the world's appearances. We ask for peace and stillness in the midst of all the turmoil born of clashing dreams. We ask for safety and for happiness, although we seem to look on danger and on sorrow. Jesus, is there any desire for an experience below my level of awareness to experience danger or for an experience of sorrow? I'm willing to see where I'm holding on to that as part of identity, false identity. And to see how even one thought of danger is a denial of this light. One thought believed of danger is a denial of infinite being. And we have the thought that we'll answer our asking with what we request. I rest in God. I rest in God. This thought will bring you to the rest and quiet, peace and stillness, and the safety and the happiness you seek. I rest in God. This hot thought has power to wake the sleeping truth in you, whose vision sees beyond appearances to that same truth in everyone and everything there is. Here is the end of suffering for all the world and everyone who ever came and yet will come to linger for a while. Here is the thought in which the Son of God is born again to recognize himself. I rest in God. Completely undismayed, this thought will carry you through the storms and strife, past misery and pain, past loss and death, and onward to the certainty of God. There is no problem that it cannot solve, and no appearance but will turn to truth before the eyes of you who rest in God. Jesus, I'm willing to see everything you point to. Oh, the power that this thought, I rest in God, carries. To see that there's no greater power than this. This is the day of peace. You rest in God, and while the world is torn by winds of hate, your rest remains completely undisturbed. Yours is the rest of truth. Appearances cannot intrude on you. You call to all to join you in your rest, and they will hear and come to you because you rest in God. They will not hear another voice than yours because you gave your voice to God, and now you rest in him and let him speak through you. Father, I see that to let you speak through me is to rest in God. In him you have no cares nor concerns, no burdens, no anxiety, no pain, no fear of future, and no past regrets. In resting in God, can cares be found in resting as this infinite light of being? Can concerns be found resting as this infinite light of being, resting in God? Can burdens be found resting in God? Infinite light, infinite love. Can anxiety be found in our direct experience? Can this be found in resting in light in God? Can pain be found resting in God in our direct experience? Can fear of the future be found resting in God in our direct experience? Can this be found in the infinite light of being that we are? Can past regrets be found resting in God, in our direct experience? In timelessness you rest. See that resting in God is timelessness. See that resting in God is beyond time. While time goes by without its touch upon you, for your rest can never change in any way at all. See that resting as God remains the same regardless of what seems to change in form. You rest today. This is falling in love with your holiness. This is honoring your holiness. As you close your eyes, sink into stillness. Let these periods of rest and respite reassure your mind that all its frantic fantasies are but the dreams of fever that has passed away. Father, I'm willing to see this Jesus. I'm willing to see as I rest in God. See how frantic fantasies were but dreams of fever that has passed away. Untouched, pure, infinite, unbound by time or space, changeless. See that resting as God knows not change. Let it be still and thankfully accept its healing. Feel the healing, the natural healing that comes from resting as God, resting in God. This is what's natural to you. This is what's holy to you. No more fearful dreams will come now that you rest in God. See that fearful dreams as you rest in God are unknown to you. They cannot be known in this light. See the power we have, you have, to recognize as you rest in God. No dreams can overcome this. See that no thought can overcome this resting. See that no thought or emotion can overcome this resting. Take time today to slip away from dreams into peace, infinite, unchanging peace. This is who you are. This is not a place to visit. This is not a place you can visit. This is identity, perfect peace. Each hour that you take your rest today, a tired mind is suddenly made glad. Feel your mind in gladness in this rest. A bird with broken wings begins to sing. A stream long dry begins to flow again. The world is born again each time you rest. And hourly remember that you came to bring the peace of God into the world, that it might take its rest along with you. Father, it's my one desire that the world rest with me. With each 5 minutes that you rest today, the world is nearer waking. And the time when rest will be the only thing there is comes closer to all worn and tired minds, too weary now to go their way alone. And they will hear the bird begin to sing and see the stream begin to flow again, with hope reborn and energy restored to walk with lightened steps along the road. As I accept the peace of the Father, I extend the peace to you, my brother. Each brother comes to take his rest and offer it to you. You rest together here. For thus our rest is made complete, and what we give today we have received already. Time is not the guardian of what we give today. See, to rest as the Father, rest in God, is to rest before time began. Thus, time is not the guardian of what we give today. To rest as God is to give beyond the time, to extend the timeless. As the Father extends to us timelessness, we extend it. We give to those unborn and those passed by, to every thought of God, and to the mind in which these thoughts were born and where they rest. This rest is the rest of the thought of God for who you are. And we remind them of their resting place each time we tell ourselves, I rest in God. To rest in God is to rest in my brother as he is whole and complete as God had made him as myself. So has God extended rest to me, I extend it to my brother. Amen. Feels helpful to ask Jesus for any helpful assignments today. As we rest in God, we can hear his voice, the voice for truth, speak within. The most precious of his direction is to rest in God, regardless of what we seem to be called to do in form. It feels helpful to open the floor if anyone would feel to express anything they've heard from Jesus, as this is a devotion to really listening to the voice within. And we can also just rest here in quiet. So if anyone would like to speak, you can just raise your hand. I'll unmute you or anyone here. Otherwise, we'll just marinate resting in God in silence. And I'll just share your beloveds here. Namaste. We extend love to you. Feels like we will sit for a few moments in silence. And yeah, feel free to leave as you're called by the Spirit. Sending love from Namaste, Lake Chapala.